does anyone find it weird that we don't have any leaks for Super Smash Bros. Heading into E3? Now, I know there's time, right? You know, we have a little under a month, 27, 28 days or so, until the fabled E3 presentation from Nintendo. But I can't help but think something is weird about this, because we just had the Pokemon flood happen yesterday. The day before that, we had the Star Fox leak from Retro. And granted, these are still rumored things. They aren't confirmed. We don't really know that 100% for sure these things are happening. But we know, or at least we think we know, a little bit about that stuff. But nothing about Super Smash Bros. That is a known quantity that's been announced and is guaranteed to be at E3. So much so that Nintendo, on their own E3.Nintendo.com website, lists Smash Bros. As a game they are going to have at E3. It is the only title Nintendo is guaranteeing is going to be at E3. There's going to be a tournament involving it, and yet, nothing. Crickets. You would figure one of the biggest games coming at E3 this year, because we have to admit, Smash is a big deal. Whether or not it'll grab more headlines than Kingdom Hearts 3 or grab more headlines than a potential Pokemon game or what any other big titles that get announced, who knows? I don't know if Smash Bros. Is going to generate the most hype out of all of the games at E3. But it's a game we know is coming to E3. It's a game we know is releasing this year, and it's a game we know next to nothing about, other than it's a Smash game. It's quite baffling, actually, when you think about it. All these leakers out there, all these people with supposed connections, the Eurogamers of the world, the Kotakus, the IGNs, the GameSpots, the Emily Rogers, all this stuff that apparently have legit connections, that have at least gotten some stuff right in the past. Nothing about Smash. But we know about Retro Studios. Now, to be fair, to be completely fair, I understand why we might know more about Retro Studios and what they're doing than what we know about Smash, because Retro Studios is a development team located in the United States. And all of these publications I just talked about, sans Eurogamer, are publications that are located in, you guessed it, the United States. So, and obviously Retro Studios, even for Eurogamer's sake, you know, they report in English, so this is an English, based studio language-wise. It's a lot easier to find connections to a studio in the country that these people are, located in. So, it's actually believable, I would say, to think that we know about Star Fox, Star Fox Racing, or whatever the case might be. It's reasonable to think that we figured out the Retro Studio stuff, because somebody knows somebody. Somebody can talk to somebody that are not supposed to talk to, and things get out like that. That happens. It happens a lot with games in the United States, to be honest. I mean, come on, Call of Duty with a leak, Rage 2, etc., etc., etc. Like, Western games leak quite frequently. But what's interesting is what we apparently know about Pokemon, but don't know about Smash. Because I know some people will say, well, the reason we know this stuff about Pokemon is localization. That's I understand that. That's a very good defense for why we might know information, because people on the localization team can be leaking things out. But the thing is, Smash Bros. Needs localization too. At least for some things. It is a game that, unless it has pre-rendered cutscenes or something like that with lots of text, that maybe there isn't as much translation needed. You're just talking about menus and stuff like that. But even then, the menus would still have to be translated for E3. E3 is located in LA. It has to be in English, so there would have had to have been translations done for it, which, character name translations as well in many cases. So my whole thing is, how is nothing leaking about Smash Bros.? How are we less than a month away from a known quantity coming out of E3, and we know nothing about it? Well, everything else around it seems to be leaking. At least two major titles were leaking around, Smash Bros. And, arguably more, with NBA 2K19 potentially being confirmed, Call of Duty potentially being confirmed coming to Switch. Like, all of these things are happening surrounding Switch, but the key game Nintendo is focusing on, absolutely nothing's coming out? You're telling me no one at Nintendo Treehouse, no one at Nintendo of America has said anything to anyone about this stuff, but we're hearing things about Star Fox and we're hearing things about Pokemon, but we're not hearing things about Smash. It's a little baffling to me that we're not hearing things about Smash. Smash is the one game I expected there to be rumors about. Maybe it's on the characters, maybe it's on the stages, maybe it's on a single-player mode or a new multiplayer mode or something crazy. And I say all this because somebody is talking about Smash, but it's not someone I would ever trust. There is a Twitter user called @Stealth with 2 underscores at the end. And he mentioned something to me that made me want to make this video. Not because I think he's right in terms of anything he's saying, because I don't think he's ever been right on a leak in his entire life. I think he's, personally, I don't know him, but in my opinion, I think he's someone that just makes stuff up based on his track record. But he said something that was very interesting just in terms of my thought process behind this. He says, it is a good thing people are preoccupying themselves with Pokemon and Star Fox leaks, because what is being talked about behind closed doors regarding Smash Bros? Yowza. And he goes on to talk about some other things, about how basically it's going to be this huge deal at E3. And it kind of delves into some opinions, because he talks about how everyone's going to be talking about it at E3. And it's like, yeah, Nintendo circle, sure. I don't know that it's going to get like that Breath of the Wild attention, that Odyssey. Like, Odyssey and Breath of the Wild cross demographics. Like, yes, it appeals massively to Nintendo fans, but Sony and Microsoft fans know about it too. Whereas Smash Bros, yeah, Sony and Microsoft fans know about it, but they don't care. Typically. So anyways, I don't believe what he's saying. You know, I'm not denying that, you know, we won't be like Yowza, but I'm just saying that it's a very generalized remark. But it made me realize that people are so focused on the current leaks from those 2 other games, those 2 other franchises, which are big deals, that Smash Bros is just kind of floating there as, what are we going to get? Where's the speculation? Now, some people are obviously speculating about characters and blah, blah, blah. And I've had people in some Q&As even ask me, hey, what characters do you want to see added? And we actually did it on a podcast, you know, where Banjo-Kazooie and blah, blah, blah. You know, some people are talking about Master Chief somehow getting included for some odd reason. Why? Because the Master Chief Collection DLC for Minecraft's on Switch? I don't know. I don't know what the justification there. Heck, maybe there's a Halo game coming to Switch, and that's why, I don't know. Just throwing dust in the wind. It's just interesting to me. I wanted to point this out because we're focusing so much on the unknown, but so little on the known. Super Smash Bros., folks, is coming to Nintendo Switch this year. It is the only game, besides games already announced that's coming this year, like Mario Tennis Aces, stuff like that, that we know is coming and we know is going to be a big deal at E3. So I want to turn this conversation away from the leaks, and let's talk about Super Smash Bros. For a moment. What I want to know is, what new additional characters would you like to see? What new modes would you like to see? Is there any sort of single-player aspects you would like to see added in? How would you like tournament modes potentially added to the game, and you know, how would you like those to go? And on top of that, are there any new items or stage types that you would like to see added in as well? Because, as I said, we focused so much on leaks, and I know I'm just as guilty as anyone, because I'm excited about this stuff. But let's talk about, just now, about this known quantity. And we'll do a follow-up video to this later in the month, where I cover some of your guys' comments in there, and we have a nice discussion. Alright, folks, I am Nathaniel Robojans from Nintendo Prime, and if you liked the video, you know what to do, and if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one.